Hey everyone, Leo Weston here, and welcome back to the Discipline Code. You know that feeling when you're staring at a blank page, agonizing over every word, every sentence? That's perfectionism rearing its ugly head. And trust me, I get it. We're all wired to want things done right, but sometimes that pursuit of perfection can actually be our biggest roadblock. Today, we're diving deep into the world of perfectionism and how to break free from its grip. We're talking about overcoming the fear of making mistakes, embracing imperfection, and ultimately, taking action. Because let's face it, sometimes done is better than perfect, right? Now, I'm not saying we should just start winging it and calling it a day. But there's a sweet spot between striving for excellence and getting paralyzed by the fear of falling short. Think about it. Have you ever let a project sit unfinished because you weren't sure if it was perfect? Have you ever said no to opportunities because you were afraid of not measuring up? Perfectionism can be a sneaky saboteur, holding us back from achieving our full potential. But the good news is, we can learn to overcome it. So, let's break down 5 key takeaways that will help you ditch perfectionism and embrace imperfect action. First, recognize that perfection is an illusion. It's this mythical beast that doesn't actually exist in the real world. There's always going to be room for improvement, something else we could tweak, or a different angle to explore. But chasing after this impossible ideal can leave you feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who was perfectly happy all the time? Yeah, me neither. Second, reframe your mistakes as learning opportunities. This is huge. Instead of seeing errors as failures, view them as valuable lessons. Every misstep, every stumble, is a chance to learn, grow, and refine your approach. Remember that famous quote by Albert Einstein, "The only source of knowledge is experience." So embrace those experiences, even the messy ones. Third, set realistic expectations for yourself. Let's be honest, we can't always be superhumans. There will be days when you're feeling less than your best, and that's okay. Give yourself grace, acknowledge your limitations, and celebrate the small wins along the way. Remember, progress over perfection is the name of the game here. Fourth, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Getting caught up in the end result can be a recipe for stress and disappointment. Instead, shift your attention to enjoying the journey, savoring the challenges, and learning from each step you take. Remember, the process itself is often more rewarding than the final destination. And finally, remember that done is better than perfect. This one's crucial. Sometimes, just taking action is more important than achieving absolute flawlessness. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back from pursuing your goals and sharing your ideas with the world. Think about that time you were working on a project, maybe even a creative project, where you were putting in all this effort to make it perfect. But then, you kept second-guessing yourself, adding more and more details until you ended up feeling overwhelmed and burnt out. You might have even abandoned the project altogether because it wasn't good enough. Sound familiar? That's perfectionism whispering its lies in your ear. It tells you that anything less than perfect is a failure. But here's the truth. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are born from imperfection. Think about those vintage records with scratches and imperfections, or a hand-painted pottery piece with a unique flaw that adds to its charm. Those imperfections make them special, one-of-a-kind treasures. So, let's recap. We've learned that perfection is an illusion, mistakes are learning opportunities, realistic expectations are key, focusing on the process is crucial, and done is always better than perfect. Remember, embracing imperfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It simply means giving yourself permission to be human, to make mistakes, to learn and grow along the way. Ready to take action? I want you to think about one thing that you've been putting off because of perfectionism. Maybe it's a creative project, a difficult conversation, or even just asking someone out on a date. Take a deep breath, acknowledge your fears, and commit to taking imperfect action. You got this. Until next time, keep striving for excellence, but remember, embrace the journey and celebrate those imperfections along the way. See ya.
This podcast is created with the help of advanced AI to deliver thoughtful affirmations and positive messages just for you.